Miller challenged the traditional superhero notion of non-lethal justice when he revived a 1970s vigilante called the Punisher. After the mafia guns down his family, ex-Marine Frank Castle wages a one-man war against crime and actually kills people. This was a little too strong for the 70s, but fit the 80s like a .44 bullet in a magnum chamber. To Daredevil, the Punisher was a villain, but readers loved him, and a host of writers and artists tried to meet the demand.
People voted for Reagan because he kicked butt, because he came on as a tough guy. And I think that attitude was mirrored in superheroes of the 80s. It's not to say the people who wrote The Punisher believed that, but I think they did tap into a popular mood.
Then came the British. Same edge, different slant. More European, more political. Writer Alan Moore and artist Dave Gibbons created a 12-issue miniseries for DC in 1985 called The Watchmen.
Alan Moore said he was really out to kind of destroy the whole notion of not just superheroes, but heroes in general, because these are people that you trust with your lives, and nobody should do that. You really needed to trust yourself.
In the alternate universe of The Watchmen, superheroes are morally ambivalent, impotent, or psychotic. One of them ends the Cold War by faking an alien invasion that unites the world and kills 3 million New Yorkers in the process.
Alan created this story commenting on superheroes, talking about superheroes, what they meant, and also talking about how it felt to be out on the streets in 1985 with Russia versus America, feeling like the nuclear clock was clicking closer and closer.
Watchmen was the most complex and intricate superhero story ever produced. It inspired a generation of artists and writers.
Most of the guys in comics lived within about 50 miles of here. So we were all at the same poker games and the same parties. And it's just, wow, how the hell did he do that? And you went home and you ripped up whatever you had done that week and just said, no, damn it, there's more I can do.
Even Frank Miller felt he could do more. His next project, a 4-issue fantasy of the future, The Dark Knight Returns. It pits an aging Batman against psychotic foes and a corrupt society.
I just wanted to do this older Batman and to make him really nasty. I thought, what better way to make him a badass than have him be the Dirty Harry out there, the guy that nobody likes.
For Miller's Batman, the biggest problem isn't the Joker, but Superman, a well-meaning Boy Scout in thrall to Ronald Reagan, conducting one-man secret wars in Central America. Superman and Batman had been friends since 1940, but weren't after 1986.
I'll gleefully take credit for breaking up the Batman-Superman friendship. Bruce has been one who enforces order in the world and believes that entropy is the natural state of existence, whereas Superman believes that order is the norm. These two people would not like each other. They just wouldn't.
We felt at the time like every Batman story that could have been told had already been told. And suddenly, here's Frank.
In the mainstream media, it got a great deal of attention, positive and negative, mostly positive. Within the comics industry, it seemed to be closest thing to a bar fight anybody could have asked for, in that it was quite controversial. That I actually got called up by former Batman writers saying I had ruined their character.